Welcome to the 10th episode of the Oracles. Man, we've just entered into the 10th, into the to the two digits. Yeah, we've just gotten into the two digits. It's been fun so far. I'm having fun. And I'm here with my co-host, as always, the beautiful, the intelligent, the brilliant, the superstar of the podcast, of the Oracles, Zima Zimu. How are you doing?
You're making me feel like a rapper right now, a
Yeah.
superstar.
Yeah.
Okay, how are you
You're the
doing?
superstar. I'm good, man. I'm good. Are you?
I'm all thanks, man. How's the week going so far? It's only
Well,
Tuesday, but
yeah, it's only Tuesday, but yeah, it's good. It's good. We've been having music coming out over the past week or
yeah,
so. So plenty to talk about. But before I actually go into the music, I think first we should acknowledge our subscribers so far. 10
actually,
episodes in, we are sitting at 55 subscribers. It's not much, but it's also quite a big deal. It's quite a big deal for us.
something, yeah.
55 subscribers. We've just gotten over 500 views on all our videos, which is quite cool, quite awesome. But
It
yeah,
is.
yeah. So now we're actually counting down, I suppose, going forward to 100 subscribers. So hopefully by August, hopefully we'll have reached our current
Yeah,
target of 100 subscribers and maybe 1,000, 2,000 views by then. But we'll
yeah.
see. We'll see. I
We
trust
will
our
see. We'll see how
subscribers.
it goes.
Yeah, I trust the people who have subscribed to the channel, who have subscribed to the
Same.
oracles, to share our content, to share what we're talking about, because they also love what we're doing. They love what we talk about, the music. Now,
Yeah,
that's our shared interest,
yeah.
which is a pretty cool thing. And it's a cool thing
True.
to talk to people who actually love the same things that we
Yeah.
do.
Really appreciate our subscribers, man, because at the end of the
Yep.
day, we're really doing this for the love of music,
Yeah.
and that's our niche, and we're here for it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, and remember that we still have a goal to talk to artists from all the continents by
Yeah.
December. Before
Yes.
2022 ends, we will have spoken to at least one artist, up and coming artist from
That's
each continent in the whole world. So I'm also
true.
looking forward to who we're going to find, who we're going to talk
Yeah.
to, and discover some pretty incredible music from all over the
Yeah.
world.
Definitely. So we basically have 5 months and 2 weeks to do all of that. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
fine. Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. And what we're talking about Universal Music University all over the world, I
Yeah.
noticed that a trend is coming out now. First, it was Drake last week dropping Honestly Nevermind. And I
Mhm.
think it was yesterday, if not, yeah, I think yesterday or today, Beyonce drops Break My Soul. And both Break My Soul is a single, by the way. And both
And
those drops,
I think Beyonce dropped today because I woke up today and social media was just, well,
yeah,
on our side, that is, it was today.
yeah. Oh, yeah. On our side, it was today. And thankfully, okay, yeah. Always is something there, but I see, yeah, she is trending. The single is trending, and I think because let me just check here, because last I checked, the song it's where it's nearing 3 million views already, and it's been up for a couple of hours already. Okay,
Wow.
because it doesn't say here what time they actually dropped. They uploaded the video on YouTube.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a almost basically almost 2.6 million
So
views.
it's one song.
Just
I
one
thought it was
song.
an album.
No, no, it's just one song. And the thing is,
Oh my goodness.
no,
I can't
it's just
believe
one
myself
song.
right now.
Yeah,
Thing is,
it's just
I've been saying this the whole day, right? I thought it was an album title, like Break My Soul.
so. Oh no, no.
Yeah, I don't know
Apparently the
why.
album, yeah, apparently the album is coming very soon. So we don't know when. But you
Yeah.
know what I appreciate, what one thing I appreciate about what's going on now is that I think Kendrick Lamar dropping his album when he said he would drop it is almost changing the way that artists are coming about their music. We weren't really expecting a Drake album until I think he announced a few days before, if not the week before, that he'll be dropping an album, and everyone was in anticipation. And he actually dropped it when he said he would drop it. Also, Beyonce has been teasing about dropping something recently, and now she's dropped the
Yeah.
single "Break My Soul," which means that an
Yeah.
album is probably coming up very soon. And she's not doing, or no longer doing, the thing that she's been doing over the last, I think, two albums, where she just
Yeah.
drops
Surprise.
unexpectedly. Yeah, with the
Yeah.
surprise drops. And it's quite interesting because I don't know why she stopped doing that. Because I just figured that, you know, but with the last two albums, it's Beyonce, you know. I
Yeah.
drop whenever I drop. I don't have to
Yeah.
announce it, and whenever I drop, people are just going to listen. People are going to
Like
stream
they
the
did with
album.
this song. Yeah.
Yeah, just like they did with "Break My Soul." People just streaming the song on YouTube, and you can only imagine what numbers it's doing on streaming platforms.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
a
think,
lot.
yeah, I think we should expect a for her to go platinum with this single within the next couple of months, I suppose, maybe. If
Yeah.
that's, yeah, so maybe I think maybe 2 months, she would have
Yeah.
surpassed, yeah, a total of an equivalent of 1 million copies
Yeah.
sold or streamed with this song "Break My Soul." And you know what? One thing I also noticed about the cover art for the single is that it's very similar to Brenda Fassie. I don't know. I mean, okay, definitely you've seen Bulingel.
Yeah.
You've seen, you know, with the hat and the beads,
Yeah.
and then also sort of like the bars. I don't know what those bars are
Hmm.
for, if it's burglar bars or whatever.
Yeah.
But or if it's a gate, I'm not sure. But it's very
Yeah.
similar, very
It
similar.
is.
And the thing is, also with the sound that Beyonce has been took, the direction that she took with this sound is that
Mhm.
she used a house beat for the song, which is something that is huge in South Africa. And also considering the cover art from of the song, kind of makes
Mhm.
you think the direction
In a
that they
lot.
took, yeah, the direction that they're taking in terms of the music and what kind of markets they are trying to really appeal to. If it's if the, For Beyonce doing this song, if she had South Africa in mind when she was doing this song, considering how big house is in the
Yeah.
country.
It's it could be a thing because now we're at a point where you could be on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, right? And
Yeah,
from the UK to the US to Africa,
yeah,
you see people jamming to house music. And when you listen
yeah,
to it, it's mostly South African songs.
yeah,
We at that point where a lot of artists not necessarily want to copy our style, but they enjoy dabbling in it,
yeah. They
you
do,
know?
yeah, because you
So I
know,
really feel like even if she didn't have South Africa exactly in mind, she might have had bits of Africa in mind. Because
yeah.
one thing about African music, they love African people, they love jamming to house music.
Yeah, we do. We do. And before people actually talk about how she's basically jacking South African style or South
Yeah.
African music in a sense, people have to remember that house music was actually American originally. It originated in Chicago back in the 1980s, and the sound that
Mhm.
she actually used it because I think it's a sample. I haven't had time
Mhm.
to actually go and check
Shit.
where she sampled
Yeah.
that song from, but it's very American, a very American house from back in the 90s. And the my first thought when I was listening to the song earlier today was that the first person that came to mind was DJ Fresh. Back in the 90s, but back when they were
Yeah.
still using vinyls and whatnot, would
Yeah.
say this is
Mhm.
a song that he definitely would have sampled or for his own albums, especially when he was still with YFN. when they were still doing that sort of deep
Yeah.
house, that commercial deep house, I suppose. I don't really know what or how he would
Classes
what is
genre.
class that genre of house. But the first person that came to mind was DJ Fresh.
No, it makes sense. But as much as this one I'm taken to my heart, as much as house music might have originated from Chicago,
Yeah,
one thing about us guys, we got it right. You know, today
yeah,
I don't know why, but I just found myself listening to old house music, and I was like, man, this thing is very amazing. It's nostalgic because you can listen to it 20 years later, and it still feels like it's something new. And that's what
yeah,
we talk about when we speak about good music, you know. And I feel like that's what we always want when an artist releases music. We don't want to listen to something that's forgettable.
yeah.
And it brings me to my point of the way people have been receiving thing is Beyonce's single and Drake's album.
Mm.
People are like, okay, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Let me just leave it. I'll come back to it later. Or most of them are just saying, I don't like it. I'm not going to be hypocritical now and be like, I hated Drake's album, but I'm loving Beyonce's song when it's literally the same feel.
Yeah,
Because a lot of people are saying they're getting that vibe from the Drake album, they're getting the house vibe, this whole black coffee guy that we know now, not the black coffee from Homebrewed, the
yeah,
black coffee that is touring Ibiza right now. That's the
yes,
vibe that they're getting from the album, you know.
yes, the
So a lot of
subconscious.
artists are going that route. I'm not sure where they're taking that from. It could be the trends of Jerusalem and the trended all over the world, you know. A
Mm.
lot of things come into play when we speak about these.
Yeah, that's actually true because I think with producers listen to music differently from us,
Yeah,
from the way that we listen to it. They pay attention to like to the beats per minute. They pay
yeah,
attention to the elements that were used in the song. They
yeah.
pay attention to how it is structured and all of that.
Mhm.
So for them, it's very, very different. And it's true that it's because you make a very good point that it's probably Jerusalem that is now the ripple effect of Jerusalem is now we're starting to see it, from how all of this is unfolding. And also it made me wonder about Drake, because Drake uses more of more of the electro sound,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
like you said, would say with Black Coffee being involved in it. So it's not something that even us South Africans can really dance to or enjoy
yes.
as much because it's something that they're going to be playing in Ibiza and
Mhm.
in all over Europe. They're going to love it there, but not so
That's their
much.
house. That's their sound.
Yeah. That's their sound. It's not really South African, but yeah, there's that element, and it's quite interesting to see. And oh yeah, because one thing that I wanted to ask you is do you think that uh, Drake hyping up Uncle Waffles as much, what do you think that it was really genuine, or was he just sort of like a rollout for this album?
Sheesh. I really didn't consider that, like the rollouts and everything. Because honestly, I really feel like Drake doesn't need to do all of that. Like,
Yeah,
no need to pull stunts. You understand? People already mess with Drake as an artist. You know,
yeah,
if Drake says I'm dropping next week, the fans are gonna be there. Yes, they might be disappointed by the drop, but they're gonna be there. It's not like like up and coming artists who would try and have some stunt or trained for some reason or another, just so they
yeah,
can have the eyes when they drop their music, have the
yeah,
ears to listen. I don't feel like Drake needs that. I think what Drake, from the initial video that we saw of Uncle Waffles, right?
mm,
Everyone, I speak for like most people, they just saw good vibes in that video.
yeah,
And I think that's what attracted them to the video. It's like, okay, this girl is actually enjoying what she's doing. She's loving what she's doing. And she looks good while doing it.
mm,
And at the end of the day, people are mostly attracted to what they see first, you know?
yeah,
So I think it was that thing. This girl looks cute. This girl looks cool. This girl looks good. And I feel like if I can get a chance to work with her, I can. Or if I get a chance to chill with her outside of work, I can. So
yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
with Jake, he was looking at it literally with both eyes. I'd like to hang with this girl.
yeah,
I mean, this is me putting my thoughts out there. Obviously, I don't know, but I think I'd like to hang with this girl. She looks like a vibe. And also, I'd like to work with her because I mean, what's there for me to lose out on? I can work with her and also make a friend if that's what he's looking for. But I don't think it was necessarily for the rollout of the album.
Yeah, yeah, because for me, it's just been a question, considering also the fact that, I mean, saying that he would want to work with Uncle Waffles is kind of, you also yourself how we'd want to work with that, because Uncle Waffles is not a producer. She's only just she's just a DJ, and she's been the most trending DJ in the country. Actually, because she's been playing in South Africa, but she's been playing less in South Africa when compared to how she's been in the UK. She's been in Europe, all over but the continent, which is a huge thing, because not a lot of DJs at her level or who've just arrived are getting the kind of gigs or the number of gigs that she is getting. And it's a pretty huge thing, because for me, in my mind, I was thinking that Drake is just being Drake. The kind of guy that as big as he is, because I also saw some videos sometimes and pictures of him being just in a bar or something with random people, with regular people, if I could say that. It's just that kind of guy. And now Uncle Waffles has been trending all over the world, but playing all over the world basically. And also he's in his mind is thinking, okay, Uncle Waffles, South Africa loves house music. So in my mind, I was thinking that it's probably, now that the album is out, I was thinking that it's probably like a rollout kind of thing for him to say that, you know what, Uncle Waffles, hopefully he'll play my music in one of she'll play some of my music in one of the sets, but I don't think it will actually vibe in South Africa. Maybe when she's out in the UK or something, that's when she'll actually play the album more, songs from the album a lot more.
No, that's true, because right now, yes, we love house, but we have our certain type of house that we like. Right? I can still class amapiano as a house genre because people groove and they listen to the pianos, right? And that's what Uncle Waffles plays the most. That's what 99% of our DJs are playing right now the most. And if they're not giving you that particular house genre, they're giving you 45s. Like your Coco essay, that chilled house music, the one that you play when you're washing your car on a Sunday. You hardly find us with the electro, because even with the electro, it's a season in this country. When I'm speaking season, I'm speaking about the times of Ultra, when there's Ultra Fest, the type of DJs they get there. That's the electro type of season that we have in the country.
So
but otherwise, throughout the year, the other 11 months, you hardly hear it. Yes, you hear it in March or February. I'm not sure when Ultra happens, but the other 11 months you won't. Unlike your 45s, you will hear it literally January to December. Pianos the whole year, So if it's a thing of I want to attract the masses from South Africa or Africa, then that electro house wouldn't be your best move. Personally, that's me. Because I remember also I was telling a friend, I'm like, I still like Black Coffee, right? As a DJ. I like him as a person. I've enjoyed his music since Nsakula, still in school and stuff. But for me right now, I wouldn't jump to attend a Black Coffee concert, because I feel like I don't get what I used to get from him, like back then. And it's okay. Artists evolve, artists change, If they want to follow a certain sound, that's okay. But it doesn't mean they have to take everyone with them. Yes, I liked you 10 years ago. Doesn't mean I still like you today, because as you're evolving, now my taste probably hasn't evolved, and I still want to hear what I heard from you, Because I know back then, if you told me that Coffee was playing, I'd be there. You remember when he did the whole situation in Maponya Mall for the whole weekend? I went, because I feel like that's the Coffee I used to enjoy. Right now, I think last year, if I'm mistaken, or early this year, he had a one night at Zone 6. Zone 6 is very close, but I'm not interested, because I feel like I don't get what I used to get from him. I see his videos and his playing go beat and not. I'm like, he is cool, they like him, but it doesn't cater to me anymore,
Yeah, I mean, that's why. Yeah, that's why he's spending more time over there than than here in South Africa. In South Africa is home. That's why he even comes back here. But I think it's less for work than it is for anything else. Also, yeah, and also I noticed that his son, his eldest son, is also on Drake's album. I forget what his name is, which is quite a huge thing. And people, and I think he's also signed to Black Coffee's record label as well. So yeah, which is a huge thing, and it's a wonderful thing to see father and son working together like that, especially when you consider the context and the reach that Black Coffee has, which is a very good thing for him. And now his career is basically in his hands, where now he decides where he's headed and how successful he wants to be. Right. I mean, Black Coffee has already laid the foundation for him, so it's up to him now. Yeah. It's all in his hands to actually go forward and do what he can.
Do you know what he does exactly?
No, I think it's probably like
is a DJ.
I think it's more of a producer than a DJ, because he's worked on one of the songs on Drake's album. Let me just check here.
Yeah.
Because I think I did download the album. I think it's Text Go Green is the song. Text Go Green is a song that he worked on alongside Black Coffee as well.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm asking this because I've always had this question now, not necessarily a question, but when you fear something that you have no business fearing. I mean, none of my parents are in the music industry, or they're in sports, or they're in IT or whatever. Yeah. But when I look at LeBron's kid, he's a baller, right? Praise people and everything. For me, I always feel that thing of, why go that route when you know there's going to be so much pressure on you? You're definitely going to get compared to your father. As much as you don't want it to happen, you're going to get compared to your father. I look at Shaq's son, Shaq O'Neal. I'm like, but guys, do something else. Your father has connections. Go into making sneakers or something. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why I have this fear, because it has nothing to do with me, but I really have it. That's why I'm asking, what does he do? Because if he's going to be a DJ, and I'm like, now what if you don't match up? What if you don't do as great as your dad did? Aren't you then going to feel like a failure?
That I look at it this way, that there's so many celebrities out there. There's so many great people in different industries within entertainment, but not all of them have their children in the industry who follow in their footsteps. They have children who go out and do something else. Some of them don't even want to do anything with fame. They don't want to do anything with entertainment. So for them, I think it's just following in their father's footsteps, where they will not necessarily be as great as their fathers, maybe, but because we already put their parents in very high esteem. And they might even overshadow their fathers, because there is the possibility of doing that one day.
Yes,
I think we're just putting a lot of pressure on them while they're still very young, while they're still finding their way. Because it's no different to sons of entrepreneurs, for instance, who also follow in the footsteps of their parents, starting their own businesses, or even taking over the family business. So for them, it's just a matter of them having the mindset and understanding that they might not be as great as their fathers, but it does not matter. They just have to do what they love doing. Or they might, but their goal at the end of the day is that they want to be greater than them, which is actually what should happen. They should be greater than the parents, because then what's the point of them learning from them if they are not going to do better than them? And that's the whole point also of their parents teaching them the way, teaching them on how to go about what they do.
Yeah. Especially when you have it literally 10 times easier than your parent had it. Because most of the parents, they had to work 10 times harder to get where they're at. But
Yeah.
with you, the foundation has been laid. In fact, the entire house has been built for you. You just have to move in. It's literally
Yeah.
like
We
one
just
of
have
those
to move in.
situations.
Yeah.
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 So I feel like they can be greater than their parents if they get their minds right. But it's just a thing of, it's scary. I mean, if it's scary for me and I have no ties to anyone like that, I can
Yeah.
just imagine the pressure they feel. Now I feel like it's immense pressure on them. But as long as they do it for all the right reasons, just don't do it because your dad did it. Do it because
Yeah.
you also love it. Because if you're doing it because your dad or your mom did it, you're not gonna do as great because you're gonna feel like it's a chore. You're doing something you're dreading every
Do.
single day.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's all about doing what you love, what you love to do, and it's not about the whatever your parents want you to do, because you consider also people like Kobe Bryant, and
Yeah,
how great he is. His father also was a basketball player, but he became big. He is one of the biggest. Was one of the
yeah,
biggest basketball players in history, in the
yeah.
NBA. Also, you look at Common, who went into rapping. His father was also a basketball player, but we don't even know his father as much as we know
Yeah,
Common. Yeah, so it's all
yeah.
about finding everyone finding their own way, yeah, and doing what they love to do.
True. It makes sense. It really does. Put what you love first, man, and do it great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Speaking on doing what you love and doing it great,
yeah.
I I don't know if you've listened to Kabza's new album, Kabza the Small.
No, I haven't. I
I
haven't gotten
listened to
a
it.
chance.
Yeah, I listened to it today, right?
Yeah.
And I love Kabza. Kabza is one of my favorite artists in the country, right? I mean,
Yeah.
those guys that you knew when they were still up and coming and how great they were. Then
Yeah.
during the way, you feel like they lost themselves. But
Yeah.
also you remind yourself to know they had to break out into the commercial space. So you
Yeah.
forgive them for that. And because they did amazing at that, then they slowly going back to who they were or who they are.
Mm.
That's the feel I get from Kabza's new album. Nah? But also, it's very long. It's an 18-track album. And one thing about me, you know this, I have an
Yeah.
attention span of a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So I listened to a point where it started to sound monotonous. I'm like, no, man, it sounds like I'm listening to one song.
Mm.
And I check, it's already like 3 songs later. And I'm like, I don't know if I wasn't paying attention or it's literally sounding the same.
Right.
The song and then another one begins now with a different feature because there's a lot of features from vocalists.
Yeah.
And the sound that I only started hearing to change was when I got to the song with Udos, because Dos no bass, Dos is very loud.
Yeah.
And all the other features he had, they were sounding all sweet and melodic. And I'm like, maybe it's just me. But this album is sounding like a cut and paste of the previous song. I'm like, maybe it's just me, but I really need to,
Yeah.
maybe let it simmer the way people are trying to let the Drake album simmer. I need to let
Yeah.
it simmer because honestly, I could feel the old Kabza coming back, when it first started. But as I go further, also, I went back to the point of maybe it's me because I don't normally listen to the entire album in one go. If
Mm.
it's 18 tracks, I listen to the first 9, then 2 days later, I go back to listen to the other 9.
Yeah.
And that's how normally I digest long albums and I enjoy them more like that. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it was me losing myself in whatever I was busy doing while listening to the music that I forgot to give myself time to fully listen to it.
Yeah. I mean, it is possible. It is possible to that might have happened, that the songs sound similar, because every producer has their own sound and they have their own identity, or their own
Yeah,
fingerprint in the way that they do their
true.
music.
Yeah,
So if he produced the album all by himself, then there is a possibility, a huge possibility, that that he, that the songs sound the same, because he's found his own way. He's found his own way of making his music.
yeah,
So yeah, it is quite possible, and that's where it becomes tricky when you are a producer and you produce your own albums, especially like people like Kabza. Um, Now it's all a matter of collaboration, I think. Sometimes you just have to
yeah.
work with different producers, have a producer do like an entire
Yes,
beat, and then you maybe come in and change a few things that you do not like, or add a few elements that you would love, that you feel could fit into that. But the bigger footprint, the bigger fingerprint in the song should be one of a different producer.
Yeah, not true. And I feel like a person who gets that right is Gaba Canal. Gaba is a
Yeah,
great DJ, he's a great producer, right? But he knows how to pick his features from the vocalists to the producers. He is amazing. And he could literally give you a 4-track EP. And by the time you finish, you're like, that was too quick.
yeah,
But the songs are literally 8 minutes long or 7 minutes long. So the songs are long. Yes, they just four songs, but they're long. And at times with long songs, you tend to zone out, you know.
mm,
But with Gaba will capture you from the get until the end of the song because he knows how to pick his features. He gets that part right. Just
yeah.
like them
So
too. And I feel like a lot of artists locally still need to work on that part.
yeah, so he basically makes those albums where you are listening, and suddenly you're back to the first track again. You don't
Yeah.
even notice. You don't know how you got there. You just got through the
Yeah.
entire project without noticing, and that's how good the whole project is.
Yeah. And I
Wow.
feel like
Okay.
that's one thing a lot of our artists need to get right now because I hate that I have to say this, but most of our vocalists are sounding the same.
Yeah.
At times, you can't even tell if it's a lady or a gent singing
Yeah.
because they literally sound like the next one. Like, I'm listening to Sino, but now I'm hearing Kosa's another daughter, and it's literally one person, you know.
Yeah.
And yes, they're great vocalists, but now when they're all featured in one album, I tend to lose it there because I honestly saw the same thing today with Kabza's album. There's Kosa's another daughter, which I love very much. There's just, you know, they're all amazing. There's Msaki. So you go from one song to the next, and like these are all features, but they all have a similar sound. They all sounding the same, but they just saying a different thing. So one is focusing on love, the other is focusing on money, the other is focusing on career.
Yeah.
But now, if you were not to listen to the words, but just the voices, it would sound like you're hearing the same
Mm.
song that just either slowed down or just became faster.
So yeah.
And that's what I'm just struggling with a lot of our artists right now.
Yeah, and it's something I feel like it should be worked on. It should be worked on, and I don't know how they work as far as people who master these albums do. Like because I know that people like Drake, he will do like an entire project. And he'll have like his producers work on the music, the songs, and everything.
Yeah.
But once the project is done and they have mastered maybe the song, the music up to a certain point, they send it to somebody else to actually master it, so that
Yeah.
a fresh ear hears the music, and then from there they just master it the way that it should be mastered, and then they send it back for them
Yeah.
to either approve or whatever. But I think
Yeah.
maybe that I don't know if South Africans do that.
Yeah, and I really don't know too, honestly. They'd be lying. But I feel like albums need to be mastered because you are giving us your body of work. This is your work. This is your career. This is your bread, you know? You
Yeah,
put your heart and soul into it. So they should.
yeah. The first time that we actually had a conversation, and it was mostly based on house music and not hip hop.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to say on the voice note. I'm like, I like this, but let me just keep quiet to
Yeah,
show that we really all about music and not necessarily just hip hop.
that's more hip hop. Yeah,
Because one thing about us, we'll speak hip hop.
yeah,
And there's a lot of house music. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot. And we need to get these people on. I think it's also with house artists, they also like acting like superstars, man.
yeah.
So
They do.
getting them on here is going to be problematic.
Yeah, they do. Because I don't know, I don't know what is wrong with them. But I also notice, because sometimes I do watch podcast and chill,
Yeah.
and I noticed that also like they be sending, and these are Mac and Saul.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have direct access to quite a lot of artists, and they would say sometimes would say they send text and emails and whatnot, and they don't get a response. So our hopes as well shouldn't be shouldn't be so high
Yeah.
as far as far as getting a response for them to come on here.
I don't get
But
it. I really don't get it. Yes, I understand you're busy. You're producing, you're recording. If so, when we're sleeping during the day, you sleep or you're doing interviews,
mm,
but it's not an everyday thing.
yeah, it's not. It's
So
not. I
if you
mean,
really want to be in touch with your fans like that, I feel like you make time because even at gigs, you don't get time like that because you normally just take a picture with them, or take a video or speak to them for 2 seconds and you bounce. But
yeah,
when with such things, sit downs like this, you actually people will get to know you for who you are
no, yeah,
because you're opening up, you're talking about yourself, the music that you do, what's the idea behind it, what's the inspiration behind it, not necessarily us just saying your groove with your hairs and whatnot, because that's the image now we all have of you. We don't know anything else of you but that.
yeah. And that the thing about us is that we are more interested in the music. We're not interested in like um, the the issues all around
Yeah,
the person. We're not interested in
yeah,
the personal their personal lives and what happened
yeah,
with who and when. We're just mostly interested in the music. We're mostly
music.
interested in what inspired yeah, a particular project, what inspired the artwork, what
Yeah,
inspired the lyrical content, all of that. Yeah, that's just mainly what we want to hear, and all that music, where it comes from.
yeah. I feel like I just hope they figure it out soon that people really are interested in knowing even the simple thing like a cover art, what went behind it,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
What was your thought process in creating any particular song you created? Because you were going through something, whether good or bad, happy or sad or whatever. You were going through something and that inspired the song that you made.
yeah, yeah.
But I guess
So
they'll pick up soon. They'll be on the train, they'll join the wave and they will speak to us.
yeah, yeah. But I think also there's a lot of trust that we need to generate with artists,
Definitely.
because
Yeah.
when you look at a lot of podcasts or YouTube channels, sorry, or whatever. It's all about it's usually more focused on the controversies and what's trending and the noise
Yeah.
around it. So hopefully, what the interviews that we've had so far, if they do ever get an opportunity to watch those, hopefully they will feel, but what, maybe we can actually
Yeah.
go to this podcast and talk to these guys. But yeah, we'll see. But we'll see how we go, and hopefully we'll get picked up very very soon and very quickly.
Yeah. And quick one. And I realized that I didn't ask this when we were speaking about Drake and Beyonce. Nah?
Yeah.
When did Drake drop? Which day was it? Was it a Friday?
I can't recall it. Let me just check.
Because
It
you
was it
know
was
how it's always New Music Friday. I don't know how that became a norm actually, because now it's literally all over the world.
no, it was
It's
actually
always New
on
Music Friday.
Thursday. Yeah, it was actually on
Yeah,
Thursday on
that's
Youth
what I
Day.
wanted to ask.
Yeah.
And
So I
B
think
dropped today on a Tuesday. Are
yeah,
they trying to start something else? Are they trying to start something different as well? Be like, guys, let's
uh,
just drop music. You can drop it on a Sunday, like Kanye dropped Donda. Was it a Sunday? Whatever. But
yeah,
give us that, man. Because now, yes, I know Friday is the end of the week. We're looking forward to new music. But if you're making music and this is a living and we love the music, you can give it to us anytime we listen.
yeah,
And maybe
especially
it's just me, but I feel like my attention span is more focused Monday to Thursday because they are
yeah,
working work mode. So I'm able to listen. But if you give me an album on Friday, I'm broken into two songs and bands because I have a lot going on. The
yeah.
weekend is happening. I have to do a lot of things. But maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I feel like because actually maybe we should look at the trends in the past when people actually bought CDs, tapes, and vinyls, to see when people actually dropped, if it was also on Fridays or if it
Yeah.
was just any other day of the week. So perhaps, and talking about that today with the streaming platforms and everything, you don't necessarily have to drop on Friday.
That's where I
You
wanted
can
to go, yes.
Yeah, you can drop it any day and people are just going to jump on it. People are just going to listen.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially for someone like myself. I usually listen when I'm in the car. A lot of music I listen when I'm in the car. I don't usually have time to listen. So when I'm at home or
Exactly.
when I'm working, so like just drop any day. Don't wait
Just drop
for
anything.
yeah. Don't wait for Friday. Don't wait for
Because I
Friday.
feel like the when you speak of your CDs, physical copies, it worked on Friday and Saturday because normally some people knock off early on Fridays and
Yeah,
on Saturdays they're free and they're running errands. So they can literally pop into Music Car and get the album.
yeah,
But now I can wake up on a random Tuesday and I see your album drop. And I check Spotify. I'm like, okay, let me listen to this. I wanted to drive to Southgate or drive to the client to look for an album, So now I feel like any day works, just give us the music. Because I guess the one thing about artists, they claim to make music 24 hours a day. They
yeah.
claim to have
So
music backed up for 10 albums.
that's
So give
yeah.
us the music. Let's go on
Just give us
marketing.
any
Give us
day.
the
We're
music.
always ready. We're always ready for new
We're
music.
always ready. Because one thing about us, we will stream your music. One thing
Yeah,
about us, we will stream your music, guys.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. So yeah, but anyway, see, I don't know if you've got anything else that you want to talk about.
Nah, me, I'm good. I'm really good for now.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, because I don't have anything else as well. Also, because we now have a new logo. Actually, it's not even a
Yeah.
new logo. It's just now we have a logo because it's our
Hello.
first one. Yeah, it's our first one, and everything. The
Yeah.
thing is, everything that we're doing. Like we're not in a rush to
Yeah.
achieve anything. It took us I don't know how many episodes to eventually come with a
Find a
name.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and now we actually have now that we have a name and now we have a logo. It took us a bit of a while as well to do that. So I hope you like it. I hope each and every one of our subscribers hope you guys like it,
Definitely.
because yeah, it's something. It's not just a logo in J, but
Yeah.
you guys will see. You guys will see where we are headed
Yeah.
with this whole thing. But yeah, thank you very much for each and every one of our subscribers, each and every one of our viewers. It's always a good time coming together to
Yeah.
put these videos together, get all of this that we're doing to put it together. It's always a pleasure. It's always an honor to do
Yes.
it for you. And we hope that you enjoy each and every minute of what we're doing. Big things are still coming. Great things are still coming.
Definitely.
And I'm actually looking forward to the time when we're actually in studio together. Because the
Same.
vision that we have for the studio, oh man,
Yeah.
it's just something else. It's just something else, and I think it's going to blow a lot of minds eventually
Yeah.
when we do get the studio. So thank you very much for everything, and thank you very much for tonight.
Thank you
Another
so much.
episode coming up next week, Wednesday. Yeah, going to be dropping
Wednesday.
something on Wednesday, and actually we will have a surprise. We have a surprise for you guys for next
Yeah.
week. Yeah, so stay tuned. Remember to share this link. Remember to comment. Remember to get your friends and family to subscribe because we are going to do great things. We're going to do
Yeah.
big things. But for this week, for myself, see you guys next week.
Also, the studio vision, I can't promise that the episodes will be this short because once you're in
Yeah.
person and start talking music, guys.
Yeah. No, once we're in
So
person,
you can't promise this time. You can't promise the
yeah,
time. But
yeah,
we'll see.
we
We'll
got
see.
yeah, and it's going to be so visually pleasing. It's going to be
Yeah.
hard to zone out, and also
Yeah.
with yeah with everything that we're just going to be doing, it's going to be very very difficult to zone out. But yeah, it's going to be a great time.
It will. And
Yeah,
thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for giving us the ear all the time. We truly appreciate it. Until next time.